Hi, welcome. This has taken a little bit more longer to set up than I thought it would, so I hope you'll see everything. I've got a box in the middle of the bed with the video set on top of it, so it might fall over at some stage, but I'll try and get going with this. What I'm going to do is I'm only going to do one round of the exercises, circuit exercise, and then if you want to repeat it again, you can. Just checking what it says at the top there. Ooh, connection is weak. Oh well, we'll see what happens. Okay, if you want to comment at all, you can, and then I know that if you're not getting an exercise or anything like that, just type it in and I'll keep checking back. Okay, so we're just going to start as we normally would with a little bit of mobilisation. So if you start with your feet hip width apart, feet facing forwards, bony hip width apart, draw your weight back so that it's in your heels. You want to feel that you can lift your toes up off the floor and just spread them to use them for balance, but you're not going to be leaning into them at all, so draw your weight back. You want your pelvis to be level, left to right, front to back, so trying to make sure that you're nice and even all the way round. If you think of a bowl of water, or so your pelvis is like a bowl, that you're not too tipped forwards and that you're not drawing it back, but you're about halfway in between. Ribs are balanced right on top of that, and then your shoulders are drawing down away from your ears. Make sure that neck is nice and long. Fingers drawing down the seam of your pants without lifting up through the rib cage. And then just lastly, think of the chin as parallel to the floor. Then you're drawing back through your jawline so you feel the back of the neck lengthen. You might feel a little widening through the shoulders, a bit of width through the chest, but again those ribs are staying down. Okay, holding that position, start to concentrate on your breathing. So you're taking nice deep breaths in through the nose and out through the mouth. As you breathe, you want to feel that widthways expansion through your rib cage. So you're breathing into the ribs. And as you breathe out, letting them relax back down again. And again, so breathing in and breathing out. Keep that going. So really taking the breath into the bottom of the lungs and letting it settle down. Good. Keep that going. You're trying to keep the movement out of your shoulders, trying to keep it out of your chest lifting at the front, but think of it as the width of the chest instead. Good. Keep going with that. You're trying to lengthen that breath, so you're keeping that going with your nice deep breaths, making sure that the length of it will help you with your movements take a bit longer over it. Good. And now we're going to incorporate the pelvic floor as well. So as you breathe in, relax the pelvic floor. And as you breathe out, think of the pelvic floor drawing inwards and upwards. And as you breathe in, you relax it back down again. Good. Keep that going. The other way to think of it is those hip bones drawing towards each other, and then on your breath in, they relax and draw apart. Or you can think of it from tailbone to pubic bone, drawing inwards and upwards. And as you breathe in, let it relax. Those of you who are 35 plus weeks, make sure that you're focusing on that relaxation phase. So really think of those hip bones drawing apart. You're not bearing down at this moment, but you do want to feel that openness through the pelvic floor on the breath in, and then try and maintain that openness as you breathe out. Lovely. Last one, focusing on it. And then we'll go into our hip hinge. So you're going to push back through the hips and come down, keeping your heads in line, and then breathing out to come back up again. Keep that going. So the movement is through the hips, breathing in as you go down, pushing those hips back, keeping the back straight, and as you breathe out, drawing it back forwards again. Keep that going. So you just want to feel that the movement is from the hips, not from your upper body. Your eye focus will be towards the floor in front of you rather than straight at your toes or straight ahead. We're just going to add in a little bit more of a stretch to that, so turn your toes inwards. Sorry if you can't see them. The toes are inwards, so you're getting a little bit more work through the hamstrings, and then we're going to push up towards the ceiling with palms of your hands as you pull the hips back, and breathing out to come back. And again, so you're pushing up and forwards, shoulders away from your ears, breathe out to come back up. So as you push forwards, really try and think of that as two opposite movements. So you're drawing forwards with the arms as you pull back with the hips. Couple more like that, please. Really feeling that stretch through the whole back line, so not just the backs of your legs, it's from your head to your toes. The last one. Lovely, breathe out to draw it back in. Good. From there, taking it into arm float. So you're going to breathe out as you lift the arms just to shoulder height, and breathing into lower. And again, breathing out, draw those shoulders down. Make sure your shoulder blades aren't lifting. You're keeping the neck long, you're keeping the ribs down. And again, breathing out, nice strong arms. Good, doing well. Keep that going. Somebody's just joined. Hello, Janine and Claire, how lovely. Good, keep going. So you're lifting up and breathing into lower. Good. I hope you're not just watching, I hope you're joining in. Good. Keep that going. So breathing out to lift, breathing into lower. This next one, you're going to stay lifted. Hold that position there, taking it into your rotations. So watch that arm as it goes, and breathing in, come back to centre. And again, breathing out, rotate, watch that arm as it goes, breathing in, draw it back to centre. Keep your hips facing forwards the whole time. So the movement is right underneath your rib cage. You're not lifting through the shoulders, you're keeping everything nice and still. The hips stay facing forwards, still keeping those ribs relaxed down. Good. And again. And we're just going to do one more to each side. Lovely, and last one. Good, coming back to centre, relax down. We're going to take it into large hip circles, so pushing those hips back, round, and drawing forward. Slight little lean back, but not massive, so really don't focus on that back bend, but on that big movement to the sides and back. Good. And again. Lovely, and then reverse that direction. So again, nice and smooth through, focusing all in the hips, so the upper body's just following through. Good, doing well. Say that, can't see you, might not be. And one last one. Good, drawing it back to centre, then little small ones. So circling through those hips again, upper body staying nice and still, so it's all focusing on that pelvis. Good. Last one, and then take it in the opposite direction. Good. Lovely, keep that nice and smooth. And draw it back to centre. Good. Okay, from there we're going to do front of foot stretch. You can't see my foot very well, but there we go. So you're going to step back with that one leg, foot flat to the floor, remember, and then at the same time a little push up to the ceiling. So you're stretching through the front line and through the front of the foot. So heels of the hands to the ceiling, and then the flat of the foot down to the floor. So you're stretching through front of foot, through your shin, reaching up, shoulders are drawing down, so not a massive back bend, but just enough to feel that little lift through the rib cage at the front. Last one of those. Lovely, drawing it back to centre and then into your squats. So again, feet hip width apart and taking it down into your squat. Sitting back through the heels, breathe out on the way up. So make sure your knees are tracking over your toes. Breathe out on the way up, good. And again. So pelvic floor lift, remember as you drive up through the heels, keep your shoulders down. So you're not hiking those shoulders up or overreaching, so try not to do that. Keep those shoulders down as you lower down. So shoulders sliding down your back, weight in your heels, breathe out to lift, doing really well. I've generated loads of nervous heat here, I'm boiling. Keep that going. Good. Last couple then. And last one. Good, staying lifted at the top, push back through the arms, open up through the chest and draw it back to centre. And again, breathing out, press back. Breathing in, draw it back to centre. Good. You want to feel that you're not moving through the upper body, so you're not leaning forwards or back. Ribs staying down. Turn the head as well. So you're getting that stretch through the neck, through the shoulders, and chest stretch as well. Good. Lovely. One more to each side then. And last one. Good. Drawing it back to centre onto heel pedals. So feet in line with the knees again, hips level, knee comes forwards and back down. So you're lifting that heel off the floor as knee comes forwards and then draw it down. Good. So working on those hips, staying nice and level with your rib cage right above it, so you're not leaning one way or the other. When you're ready, start to add in the opposite heel lifting, trying to keep those hips level to the floor the whole time, so you're not leaning one way or the other. So no sort of bouncing from side to side. Keep everything nice and still and stable. Good. Okay, if you want to add that with your arms, so that you're making sure that, again, staying stable. This time you have to focus on the ribs and shoulders staying in alignment, as well as those hips. No sticking the bum out as you land either, so everything nice and stable the whole time. Good. We're going to come back into this in our circuit and add a little balance. So just getting to a stage here where you feel you can comfortably maintain that. Good. Last couple. Good, and then relax it down, take it into a side bend, so you're lifting up and over, getting that stretch through, and breathe it out, draw it back to centre. Good, allow your head to just draw down with that, so your neck stays in alignment, breathe out, come back to centre. If it's too much with that arm lifted, you can stay just with the hand down to the floor, breathing out, come back to centre, and again, so it's looking for the lift through the rib cage, you get that little stretch through, as well as through a little bit into the hip and into the waist. Good. Lovely. One more to each side. You can allow that arm just to drop over to give you a little bit more stretch if you like. Good. And last one. Lovely. And breathe out, come back. Good. Okay, we're going to go into the circuit then. So hopefully you've got water with you. I'm going to just do 5 exercises. I'm going to use no weights because I didn't expect you to have any necessarily. What I do want to use for the rows though, it's quite difficult to do rows without anything. I'm going to use door handle. So hopefully you've got a door that you can use. And just go easy, just go with what feels right, because obviously you don't want to feel like you're going to break the door. Okay, so make sure you've got water handy as well. We're going to start with squats, and we'll add in squat down and overhead reach for it. 50 seconds on, 10 seconds off. Off we go. So squatting down and pressing up. Good. Okay, go at your own pace here. Obviously you don't have to do it at the same time as me. Make sure as you squat you're sticking that bum out, so no rounding. Your upper body only lowers because your hips are lowering. So if you're trying to get to the floor by rounding through, I'd rather you stayed higher up. Okay, so don't go down all the way unless your hips will allow you to do that. Good. Keep that going. Breathing out on the press up, so make sure again you're lifting up through pelvic floor as you reach up, and that reach is part of the lift, so it's all one movement. So breathing out through the heels, lovely, and rest. Okay, so the next one is your row. So using the door, you're going to have your feet either side of the door and your hands on the door handles. So you're sitting down into it and then row in using your upper body only. Okay, so make sure you don't round as you come back, keep those shoulders down and open, and just use your arms as much as possible, so you can try not to use those legs. Breathe out, draw it up. Good. Shoulders relaxed down. Doing well. Lovely. Another 20 seconds. 10 seconds to go. Keep going, doing well. Keep breathing through. And obviously the hard work here is on the pull, so that's when you lift up through pelvic floor. Okay, stand up easy, don't let go until you stood up. Next set is lunges. Alternate lunges if you can. If you need to stay just on one side, then do. Just going to wait because this is going to beep again. If you have any pelvic girdle pain and lunges sets that off, then I want you to stay with squats again. Okay, so off we go. Alternate lunging forwards if you can. If that feels too much for you, then again stay with it, just one side forwards and then lift up, and I'll tell you when it's halfway. So that's your alternative, is staying still. And again, if you've got pelvic girdle pain, stay in that squat position instead. Good, keep that going. That's halfway if you've not been alternating. Work on that balance left to right as you step back in, so you try not to lean one way or the other. Breathe out as you push up through the front leg. Good. And watch the rib cage. So ribs are balanced down. As you go forwards, you don't want to be leaving your body behind, so you sit back into it. Breathe out to come back up. Breathing in, breathe out to come back up. Good. And there we go, rest. So last upper body one is going to be press ups. So we're going to go for a single arm press up if you can. If not, both hands on. So your option is both hands on, breathing out to push away. Or you can do one arm at a time, breathe out, push away, one arm, breathe out, push away. Don't know what the vision was like on that, so I do it here. So one arm coming in, breathe out to push away, other arm coming in, breathe out to push away. Keep your ribs and hips still. So this one tends to make people round through. So you keep your shoulders down, everything nice and level, so no lifting of the ribs, no dropping of the back. Breathe out, push away. Good, so it's a lot of control when you're doing the singles so that there's no twisting, no arching through. Good, breathe out as you push away. Remember, you can just stay with double if you prefer. Hinging from your ankles, not from your hips, so your whole body in a straight line. Lovely, rest up. And the last set we're going to do is the core work with balance. So we're going back to those knee lifts. So we did those walks before. I now want you to add in a lift of the leg off the floor. So you're adding in a little bit more balance. Off you go. So it's going to be 3 of those pedals. On third one, stay there. Transfer your weight, lift the leg off the floor without leaning over. And again, so 3 little pedals through. Hold that nice and stable. Lift off the floor. So your pelvis should just glide from one side to the other on the balance. There should be no hitching through the hips, so no lifting up or leaning over, and also when you lift, no tucking under. So nice and stable through, 3 switches, and then as you lift, keep that position, so ribs still down, hips still level. You can add in the arms if you want to, but you don't have to, so that makes it just a little bit harder. Obviously the higher the knee comes as well, the harder it is. And relax. Lovely. Don't know about you, but I'm very hot and sweaty now, so grab a drink. We will do another round. Oh. Didn't realise how hot it was in our room. So we're doing exactly the same again. I'll probably just do 2 rounds. So if you're watching this later, you can always pause and repeat. So you could do another 1 or 2 rounds after that. But just to get us time for doing some floor work and relaxation as well, I'll probably only do 2 rounds. Okay, I'm going to give you another few minutes just resting. Hope you've got stuff ready for the relaxation as well. So if you need pillows, or if you need a mat, if your floor's not very comfortable, then make sure you've got those handy as well. Okay, a few more seconds. Hope you're alright out there. Be lovely to see you. Oh well. 10 seconds, getting ready to start again. So we're starting with our squats, squat to press. Good. Okay, so get yourself ready and off we go. So feet facing forwards again, squat down and push up. So weight is in your heels, and then you're pressing through those heels to lift, breathing out on that lift up. Good. So keep that weight back in your heels, knees and toes in line. Keep your shoulders down on that press as well, so make sure you're not sort of hunching them up. And again, as you squat down, you're not dropping through the chest, you're dropping through the bum and the knees and then driving through that. So don't round, don't drop, keep that chest up, keep the bum sticking out. Doing well, 10 seconds here. Lovely. Keep going with that breathing, pelvic floor lifting. Lovely, and rest. Okay, so next set is your door handle one. So make sure you secure. Hands either side of it, feet close to the door, okay? So closer it is, the better. And you're breathing out to lift up. So extending fully but not rounding. So you've got work between the shoulder blades there. Breathe out to draw it in, and again. So breathing in to lower, try and just rest in your legs, so you're not standing up on those legs, you're staying just sat back into it. Breathe out, pull in with your upper body only. So really feeling that that's your upper back working there. Again, don't let it open up through your upper back as you stretch back. 15 seconds more. Slight connection there. So breathing out, pelvic floor is lifted. Baby drawn in just slightly. Elbows are in close. Don't think you can see that there, but your elbows are tucked right into your waist. Lovely, and rest. So then from there we're going into our lunges. Remember, if you've got pelvic girdle pain, you're going back to the squats, or else you could change it to a deadlift this time with a straight hinge, both legs, just to vary it up a bit. Otherwise, we're lunging off. Alternate legs if you can, and if not, stay on one side and then I'll tell you when it's halfway. So there's your alternate, either forwards or back is fine. Remember to keep those ribs dropped, so you're not leaning back. If anything, it's as if you're going to pick something up off the floor. And again, remember, you can stay just on that one leg, breathing out as you lift up, so you're keeping that nice and stable through. Good. Keep saying this stuff about the connection, so I don't know what the video quality is coming out like, so I hope it's okay. If you're on one leg, change legs. Breathing out as you lift, pelvic floor is lifted, that back heel is lifted, so I don't know, again, whether you can see that on the video, but your heel stays lifted the whole time. Breathe out as you push up. Nice stable base. If you're by the wall, that'll help if you feel a bit wobbly, and rest. Lovely. Have a little child trying to peep in. Becky, go away. Okay, next one's your press up. So I'm either the single arm one again. Breathing out, push away. Good. Or if you prefer, double arms on. Either way, those elbows are tucked down slightly, so don't have them up around your shoulders. You want your elbows sort of like a low diagonal. Your movement is a whole body movement, so there's no leaning with baby, no leaving the bum behind. Everything moves as one unit. And again, ribs to hips, stay nice and level the whole time. So you're not, if you're doing a single, you're not falling your chest in towards on one side. Keep it nice and stable through. Lovely. Last one. Good. And relax, okay? So then into your heel pedals. If you, again, have pelvic girdle pain, you probably want to avoid a full lift on there, but you might be okay with the pedals themselves. So 3 little switches. On the third one, taking it into that lift if you can, without leaning, and again. So 3 little switches, and then lifting, keeping the hips nice and level. Good. Keep that going. 3 little switches. Hold that stable and lifting up. Good. Doing well. Keep it as balanced as you can. So no movement through the ribs or through the hips. So this is all about keeping that waddle at bay. So you're keeping it nice and stable through, working on that core strength.